into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Llama, yo no sé. This is my song right now, Nicky Jam, Hasta Amanecer. What? What's good, AfterBuzzers? You are watching the Jane the Virgin After Show on AfterBuzz TV. I'm your host, Stephanie Giorgi. You can follow me on Twitter at Stephanie Giorgi. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our page below. Find us on SoundCloud, on iTunes. Rate us 5 stars. Let us know what you think so we can bring you more. Today I'll be co-hosting with my boo thangs. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hey guys, it's Sean Overman. You can find me at Sean Austino. That's SeanAustino on Twitter and Instagram.
And you guys can find me, Sam Davidson, at SamD43 on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah. Sorry, I really do love this song. Anyways, so today was crazy, and I'm sad, I'm not sad. I did cry.
Yes, you did.
I cried. In fact, I think there might be a video somewhere of that. Thanks to Becca. Which she's amazing. She's absolutely incredible. In a second, I'm actually going to have you all follow her as soon as I find her.
She's our social media intern.
Yes.
It's Becca Loves TV.
Oh, really?
Oh, there you go.
Becca B Loves TV.
Oh, Becca B Loves TV. Follow her because she's amazing and she captures such wonderful moments, even if I'm crying. And she's just like behind the camera, just like cracking up at all of us, like, oh my God, these guys are such weirdos. Anyway, so we start with the flashback in the bathroom. 3 women, 1 bathroom to share. We have Abuela in the shower, young Jane, brushing her teeth or
doing her hair.
She's in front, and then Xiomara behind her brushing her teeth. Goes to spit her toothpaste out, falls in Jane's hair. Jane turns on the water. Grandma's like, the water gets cold when you turn on the faucet. Whatever, who cares? That's what we saw for the flashback.
Real quick question though, is it the same? Is this a new little Jane?
Yeah, I think it was.
This was a new Jane. This was a teenager Jane.
She was a teenager Jane.
That's supposed to be, probably like 13?
Yeah, like a 9th grader. Yeah, I could see that.
Like 13, 14, yeah. So, we haven't seen her before, which, to be perfectly honest, this is the first time I feel like the flashback didn't... What was the premise for it?
I think it was that Xiomara needs to get a job. Because she told her that back then.
Okay.
And then they talked about it later on.
There it is.
Obviously. It was a big topic.
Perfect. So, we will, instead of getting into that, I'm going to go ahead and start with the Mutter case, because I feel like it was large, but not so large. We find out this episode that Elena... However, it switches up towards the end because she goes, hi, mother, instead of like, hello, stepmother.
Yes.
Elena is Rose's mom, stepmom.
Weird.
That's not what I picked up. Okay, I was very confused. I think you guys are both on the same page, so...
Wait, stop real quick.
Yeah.
Sam, I've missed you and welcome back.
Sorry, guys. I know. I was in a lot of traffic, and actually, thank you guys for one of you commenting on my kimono. I just realized it was inside out, so, we're all good. No, but...
They told you it was?
No, they said they loved it, and then I just realized it was inside out.
Yes. I see the stitches.
Okay, continue.
But I was... Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. We can totally hear you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I was confused because at the end, so we're going with that storyline at the beginning, that was Rose, right?
That was Rose, but she says, hello, mother.
Yes. And so then I was, whoa, that's crazy. And then I realized Raf and...
don't have the same moms.
Yes, exactly.
So it's okay.
Yes.
My thing is that they had originally said this is the stepdaughter. So maybe they got very little information, which almost makes me think like Elena would be that type of person that would want her daughter to look like a stepdaughter and not actually her daughter. Do you know what I'm saying? There's like older women in the world with, I don't know, like a age thing, who knows? Because my whole thing is that now I don't know if it's her actual daughter or not.
Yeah, I don't know either. Like now that we're talking about it.
Because then Luisa fell in love with her stepsister.
Yeah, it says stepsister, or it says well, she's her stepmom because she married her dad, her biological dad, but then it was really her I'm confused, kind
Yeah.
of. It was
We're gonna
really
have
her
to-
stepsister, mother?
Yeah,
What
and by the way, guys, I'm in the live chat tonight, so I know some of you are watching. If you have any clarification, please let us know.
Yeah.
Draw some diagrams or like diagram it out on the chat.
I've been
please.
starting drawing diagrams for my shows, so
Have you?
yeah.
I mean, we really we don't know what's going on.
I'm gonna
but-
try to draw something while we're talking.
Yeah, so it's just kind of crazy. And then we see what's her name? You wrote it down. Barnett's first name.
Susanna Barnett.
Susanna. And then apparently Susanna's like a full-blown like
Is she? Now I'm
Leslie
still
now, I
confused
guess.
about that.
Well, it was
Yeah.
just so crazy because we see that moment where they get Luisa to help her because they have a picture and Luisa recognizes the driver whose name is Joey, who apparently used to drive Rose and Luisa around. So they use her to get him as an informant to get information out of Joey. And while she's speaking, they have like a very sentimental conversation or whatnot. And then that's when Barnett gets all emotional like, oh, she's not over her yet. Get out of here, Luisa. How do you have everyone like that? Damn, she's got game.
She does. Well, she's beautiful.
She is beautiful. We need to get Yara. Yara! I'm going to send that.
I
clip
want
to
her. I want her on this show. I want to meet you, Yara.
Me too.
Please.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's about it that we got from it because now we're left with Elena and Rose teaming up. We're eventually going to see them, and also something bad's going to happen. Right? It has to.
Someone said, Librarian Rocks 1, that Louisa slept with her stepmother, Rose, and Rose is Ross's stepmother. Yes, we know that.
Yeah.
But I'm just confused with all these steps.
Okay.
So am I. They were, because she kept talking about how inappropriate really
Yeah.
it's paralleling.
Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so Elena is Mutter, right?
Yes.
Okay, and she was previously married to the dad. I forgot his name, right? So
Solano.
Solano,
Papa
yeah,
Solano.
Papa Solano. He is Luisa's biological father.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So Rose, is she she is the stepdaughter of Elena, and she is she's also the half daughter of the dad, right? Is she?
No.
There's no half
Here's the thing, though.
Okay, there's
so
no half daughter. Okay.
if no, that would only be the case
Yeah.
because this is the confusion. They said in the case that Elena or Rose was Elena's stepdaughter, right? Mm-hmm. But then Elena said, "Hello, mother."
Yeah.
Should Rose be Elena's real daughter? Then it is Raf's half sister,
Yes.
step sister to Rose.
He lost me about 12
my
words
God.
ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well,
Okay,
who
all right.
cares?
So is it possible then that Luisa could be half related to Rose?
I mean, maybe
I
not.
think it's
I don't think it has
possible.
anything to do with blood. No way.
No, but they
because the
still
moms
could.
are different. Unless Elena got knocked up by Solano, and
but the
then
dad's the same. The moms are different, but the dad's the same.
No, the dad's not
the
the
dad's
same.
not the same. Okay, so then they're not related.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Telenovela.
I'm just saying. There's some shows out there where there's a lot of like semi like borderline incest stuff going on.
It's kind of a thing now.
Yeah.
I was talking about it the other
is.
day on TV. It's a weird line that TV is starting to randomly cross.
Yeah.
And I don't
It
understand
is a weird line.
Yeah.
It kind of bothers me, but I'm not gonna lie.
There's-
Gosh, and I hate that I relate to most of my shows.
The shows like HBO and Netflix shows, those are the ones that really cross the boundaries, and it's like straight up like there's incest going on.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. But I'm not gonna lie though. As far as personal life goes, I do know not a couple, but I was just. I knew and was close to a situation where the stepbrother and the stepsister were like in love and like crazy stuff, and it was so much more serious than it was. They technically grew up together. They have no blood relation.
Yes.
But
But they're doing it.
they were. Oh my God.
Ooh.
Anyways, moving forward to Jane the Virgin. So that's pretty much what we have for the Mutter case. Luisa is hot and heavy, and then Barnett. Well, we're gonna see what happens between Barnett and Luisa because apparently Barnett looked like she had feelings and had to like break away.
She turned her down because Luisa was really acting like when she was undercover, she was really acting like she wanted Rose back.
Yeah.
She did. And I think that was kind of a theme of the episode. It's like, turn them down when you really love them.
Right?
Yeah, that's right, it was.
We're not going to get into that, but Rogelio did get turned down by Jane as far as babysitting little baby Matteo today. And that, I understand that, but at the same time, I mean, come on. I don't know.
You have to have trust.
You
If
do
you
have
don't
to have
have trust with
trust.
people, then there's no boundaries even.
Mm-hmm. I was happy to see that the way her dynamic with her father now is just unbelievable to me, and Xiomara as well. They've just gotten so close, which just goes to show you that sometimes blood, regardless of how much space in between, if you're, if there's like honest intentions, if you're good people, it really will just fall back to normal. It'll be okay.
Yeah, I like that. I liked how Jane was able to get like really mad at Rogelio,
Yeah.
which we haven't seen her get mad that many times this season.
Exactly.
Maybe like 2 other times. And this time, she just like, she immediately felt bad about yelling at him when she got back to her place.
Yeah.
See, I actually disagree. I feel like we have seen Jane get like mad so many times this season, and I'm annoyed by her by getting mad. But
Yes, because she's a mother now.
Exactly. She's a mother now, and she's uber sensitive to everything. But I was so glad right away she retreated and apologized, because that was just crappy.
Yeah. Me too. But again, I'm just happy that she has that comfort level with Rogelio now. Like, there's just, it's as if they grew up together. And then we did see that moment where Rogelio is sad and talks about how he would want to be a better father in the future. And he's like, maybe I don't need to be needed because you did perfectly. And she's like, no, I would have wanted you. That was a really like emotional moment for me, because she's like, no, I think for her in that moment, she's like, having you now, I can never imagine not having you. Mm-hmm. Like, even if he came later in her life, it's just perfect.
It was really touching.
It was. And then, so Rogelio, being the wonderful grandfather that he is, decides to share his secret with little baby Matteo of his diamond ring.
The purple diamond.
And wants to propose to Xiomara, and Matteo swallows the diamond.
Eek.
Yeah.
It happens.
It does. I feel a little upset with Jane for being mad about it. It is her fault because she called him. And it was a little diamond.
And I just can't wait, though, till she does something or is not looking for a second. And then something happens and she'll understand that she was present the entire time and anything can happen and it's not anybody's fault.
No, it's not. That's what I was going to say. It's not anybody's fault, right? She called. Rogelio did mention like, oh, well, if you didn't call, it would have been okay. I wouldn't have gotten distracted.
Right.
But he was putting it like right by the kid's face.
True.
Little Matteo, he's going to grab
Matteo.
it. And of course, he's eating right now. It's like eating snack time with all the Cheerios. He's going to grab whatever in his hand and like swallow it down, of course.
I know.
And 3 poop emojis later, it's not out yet.
Seriously. Well, but that's all that happens. Mateo's good. He's been such a solid character. I'm really surprised about how the baby's been playing out. I just didn't think she was going to have a baby, that everything was going to be so cool, and it really is.
Well, I feel as though he's grown really fast.
He has. He's quite large.
Yeah, and now it makes me think like, oh my god, by next season, are we going to see him like talking and stuff?
No, that'd be crazy.
And that it would be realistic, I feel like. It feels like, and they've even escalated the timeline, right? Because we have Petra.
We did skip some time.
Yeah, we skipped like 6-7 months so far, right? Because Petra, look how far along she is.
She's about to burst.
Yes, literally.
And why don't we go ahead and talk about Rafa and Petra?
Oy vey.
Ooh, you were like, oh my gosh, you were getting emotional over the scenes when they were getting close and like knocking knees.
That's
a
why
little
she
bit.
was crying, probably, right, Steph? Is that why you cried?
No, it
That
was
was-
also the Rogelio.
It
thing,
was,
too.
which we'll get. I kind of want to say that one for last because it was really awesome.
Yeah.
But it was the Rogelio thing that made me cry. However, I freaked out. I stood up. I couldn't sit down during the Raf and Petra parts.
And I was cheering. I was like, yes, yes, get together.
Really?
Yes, I want them to get together.
No.
I don't want him to be
Sean,
involved with
shut
Jane anymore.
Up. No.
I'm serious.
Oh my god, I'm so mad. Can you hand? I just want to.
You're
No,
gonna slap my hand?
I
Oh,
want
you're
to
gonna
squeeze
you're
it.
squeezing
I want to
me.
hurt you. Sorry, but okay. So this is crazy. Raf and Petra. And I believe I mentioned this before, so please, viewers, call me out whenever I'm wrong or repeating myself or lying. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, my mind will change. But I saw that they've gotten closer. I do see their dynamic. I get how they're similar in the ways that they think. And again, I knew that because of of everything that happened, that their relationships were gonna be forced, considering the amount of time that they're spending together. So we see Raf and Petra have this moment, and they have to. You know what? I wish I caught it, and forgive me for not. Something's going down with the hotel, and they have to get a hold of Izzy Hillcroft.
Yeah. She was going to cancel her wedding because of all the bad publicity that's going on.
Yes, and they needed that money.
And they needed not only the money, but also to have her continue with the wedding to prevent the bad publicity from happening.
Yes, you're right. Which Izzy's lucky because she got a free wedding out of it.
Yes.
However, we see an awesome part. Thank you for reminding us how awful Petra can be. When they show up to the art show.
She does look like the trophy wife.
And yes, and they are presented to the trophy wife.
It's a cool piece of art.
It was an awesome piece of art.
Really cool.
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree.
Kudos to whoever designed that, because had I seen that anywhere and it was actually titled The Trophy Wife, I would have been like, whoa, put that up in Brentwood somewhere.
Like, where did that piece of art go? Who do you think has it now? I doubt we'll ever see it again.
Warner Brothers, who knows? It's just like chilling there somewhere.
Don't trash it, guys. Send it to the AfterBuzz studio, and we'll have it here.
My God, that would be so cool.
It would be amazing. Yeah, so she has a little run-in, which is great, that Petra needs a little reminder that she is a bitch sometimes, and I guess she made her a coffee, she spilled it, she's like, do you know who I am? Regardless, then we see Petra put forth the effort in kind of resolving the issue, and then they bring up these gnarly memories, the same way they brought up where we were then told how she had a late miscarriage, which is very emotional, and I didn't know that till later, and now we see this part. I'm mad about this because
it's churning up stuff.
It's showing up stuff, but here's the thing. Regardless of her mom saying it's because you should be nervous because you fell in love with Raf, we see this part later because Raf, I don't want to talk about this, but Raf attempts to kiss Petra.
Yes, he does.
Yes. Wait, didn't he succeed? He didn't succeed in kissing her?
I think maybe it was like a second, then she stopped him what really happened.
Yeah.
But you want to know what a point I want to bring up I think is really important is that, okay, so we started the show when Raf was a good person after he's recovered from cancer and has kind of learned the error of his ways, and we see some flashbacks to when he was a jerk. But, like, not a lot. We know him as a completely different person. I think that he kind of used to be like Petra.
Yes, that's why they kind of understood each other. And that's why I understand, like, oh, their dynamics and their friendship is kind of getting better. And when they talk about certain things, it's not weird because I think both of their heads go there. As much as Petra may have not had money, that doesn't matter. There are people who could be born broke and will be those hustlers and do what they can to look good and act like more. And I think that that's the type of person that Petra was. And then she received money and was able to live that way. So you see that, and then specifically during that moment where they're on the beach and he's like, I fell in love for moments where you like wanted to save money. Which was a super cute moment. Ew, whatever. Yes. I don't care.
Why is it about money? It's annoying.
It is. Okay.
Well, because he grew up with money, and she grew up without it, striving to get it.
Yes.
That's why.
And at the end of the day, it's just kind of what they both know, so that's what brings them together. Their values are what's similar. However,
it's pretty messed up.
It is pretty messed up. Here's the thing, though. As much as we had that moment where we see Petra speaking to her mother, and her mother saying, I told you not to fall in love with her, and she's like, I am nervous because I did fall in love with him, is because Petra did meet someone kind of compatible who might have understood him. My thing is that I don't care. She still ended up effing Roman Zazo. Yeah. So for people like you who will be like, yeah, they kissed, I want to continue to bring up that regardless of Jane, that marriage might have been over had Petra left Raf for him.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm really grateful for the flashbacks and I want more. At the end of the day, I think they have unfinished business and I don't think they're going to end up together, but I think they needed this reconciliation for him to completely move on.
Okay. Well, for her, because I felt like she had moved on. It was more like I mean, yes, he was lonely. He found a little bit of companionship in her. And I mean, who else? I feel like in the position that he has 2 baby mamas. Like the only person he's gonna want to kiss is either of them. I feel
he has to be there with her. She's
Yeah.
like at the end of her pregnancy. He can't leave. And then just it's the proximity effect. Him
course.
being near her hormones, his hormones, like their paternal and maternal
His
instincts.
baby's in her stomach.
Yeah.
Babies in the stomach, of course. Yes, possible babies.
possible.
I thought it was. I thought it was.
Yeah, I
too.
think-
it was, but
I think
we're
it is.
hoping that it's not. That's
Okay,
all.
I think it is because they did say even babies. Like
What, you're
during
hoping one
the
eats
last
the other or something?
doctor's
Oh no, I'm
appointment.
saying babies. I'm saying like his, not the
Yes.
baby's
Oh,
part.
yeah,
It is
yeah,
babies,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm saying we're hoping that it's not his. That
Yeah.
it's like Aaron's babies.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Or some random dude.
All right.
A mislabeled sperm
Yes.
sample.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So then we see that, and they kiss, and thank God Petra's like, I can't do this, which goes to show that she is turning her page. But it's one of those things where if you already lived your bad side with certain people, you can't relive that side with them. Anything that you want better in your life has to be with someone new, and has to be with someone who's willing to understand that you had a past, but they can't have been part of your past. That's my thing with Petra.
You know what I think is so great about this show is that they know what the fans want, whether it's one team or the other. And
They want to mix things up
Yeah.
and mess with our heads.
they bring us to the brink where we think, like, I think, oh yes, Petra, Raph, they're gonna be together. I want them together because I want Jane to be with somebody else, right? And then they just like slap it in my face that it's not gonna happen this episode or the next
Yeah.
episode.
Well, see, I love that, but I hate that about this show because it takes us so far, and there's only so many false starts that you can watch
Yeah.
and not get frustrated. I want to see a relationship go all the way through and like actually run its course and happen and not just be a false start.
Well, maybe that's what's gonna happen with Chavez and
I don't
Jane.
think so.
Which is, I know, I was wondering about that also. I mean, we'll see. But last thing I wanted to say was when she said, "You're not over Jane,"
Yeah,
he had to turn away and accept that.
he was like, "You're right."
Throwing that out there.
Yeah, because just last episode, he was even texting her like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
really messed up, didn't
Yeah.
I?"
Yeah, and we all
course he
know,
did.
for those of you older who watch, we all know that, it's, you find comfort in the opposite sex. And sometimes attractions happen and we don't understand why, but it's just that human chemistry, whatever.
But also, you sometimes are never going to get over certain people in your life, and that is okay. Kind of like over.
It's okay to not be over them and to move on with someone else.
Yeah, there's a certain part, not completely obsessed in love. He needs more time. But I think a piece of his heart will always belong to Jane, no matter what happens, and vice versa. They share a child and this crazy experience, and that's just never going to go away. Aw. I love making you cry.
There.
Okay, so then let's talk about Jane and Jonathan Chavez. Okay, so Jane with her advisor and her writing, she writes some great story that has to do with romanticism and then reads it to an audience with her advisor present and accidentally uses his name rather than Armando. The character's name was Armando, but then she throws in Jonathan in there.
Was it Armando or I thought it was Fernando?
Armando.
It was Armando. Okay.
And
Steph's like, oh, I know.
I know, I paid attention to that. Yeah, she mentions the name and then he kind of doesn't, he catches it, doesn't catch it. Then she talks to her mom about it, has to pay attention to the signs. Then she speaks to him about it, but then there's a confusion. Then he says, oh, my mom is a huge fan of your dad. Take us to his set. And it turns into this date, and now we get to just talk about them.
Yeah. They did the knee rubbing too in his
So
office.
yeah, let's talk about signs then. We obviously, the way that Jane has been so persistent and so, she reminds me of the Rachel Berry of writing.
Oh, wow, okay.
mean,
we got a
there's-
Glee reference.
We have a
over
Glee
there.
reference. The way that Rachel Berry is so corny and so about her music, that is how Jane is, and they don't care because they know their craft. And I believe that if Professor Chavez is as great as a writer as he is, he recognizes that in her. However, he's a professional person, adult, and doesn't cross those certain boundaries. So now things are kind of happening where they get awkward and she kisses the shoulder. Oh my God, how embarrassing.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Oh my
But
God.
let's talk about all the right moves that he was doing though that made her think this was going to happen.
Yes,
Right? So he
squeezed her arm. Was that the first one? No.
He did.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
he did a
"Call me
touch.
Jonathan."
Right. Oh yeah, the dropping the formalness of Professor Chavez,
Yes.
right? So, call me, it's just Jonathan, or whatever, right? Over at the set, and then he squeezes her arm, like the kinesthetics, the touching, like, oh my God, I've never seen my mother like that before. This is awesome. She's having such a great time. And then let's go to the car. Let's check. And then he like pats her on the back, right? Like just like right above the butt.
Yes.
And and then they go outside and he's like leaning in for it. Like he's even isolated her.
Yeah.
They're at her car alone, not on the set in front of his mom or in
Yes.
front of Rogelio anymore. And then she misreads the leaning in as he's leaning in for the door.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I think he changed his mind last minute. I think she was totally on point.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think
could
so
see
also. But here's the other problem is also we've all seen the movie He's Just Not That Into You.
Yes.
Women overread things. I mean, I would have just thought,
We're just smarter than men. Sorry, Sean. No, but I think that Jonathan didn't even know he was giving her signs.
that's my point. I think that
And then when she pointed it out, he was like, actually, wait, I am kind of into her. Whoa, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for the voice that you used also.
You know what? He's got to be a ladies' man. He's a good-looking dude. He's fit. He's a professor at
He was
university.
in Magic Mike 1 and 2.
Okay, other
If
than
you guys
that.
haven't seen it, he takes his clothes off. It's awesome.
Allusion
One
to
and
another
two.
film.
It's a good ooh. That should not be a bad
Yes.
one.
So he's a great guy, right? Anyway, he doesn't know that he's doing this, and he in his mind and in a lot of men's minds we have like a rigid set of rules, like we cannot violate these, but he's thinking like, oh, I can do all these other things, and that's just being friendly and fine, and it's okay, she's my TA, I can be friendly with her, she's not a student, like a straight up student anymore. But then yes, it is crossing the line, and like the whole he doesn't know in her mind that she's having fantasies about him.
And he also doesn't know that regardless of what she told her, girls are like, oh, he's like comfortable with me. He's like bringing his mom around and like, oh, he squeezed my arm. Like he just wants me to be part of like what he's realizing. And that, ill. We think a lot. So,
But you know what? I could
not
see.
her fault.
I could see by the end he was rejoicing that
he
she made the right choice.
Yes. And again, because he sees the character that she is and how she acts and how she handled the situation. I think he was trying to be cute because he could. They were in a situation not out of school, so he could be a little more touchy, and then she caught on, and maybe he was just like, oh shit, she caught on. I don't know. No, I think it was Sam's. Oh, maybe I am into her.
It's like I didn't know I was allowed to think about it like that because I compartmentalized my brain.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sean.
Sorry, it's totally fine.
Sean, we know you think that way
That's
also.
the way the men are like that.
He's an
What can I
exceptional
say?
man, though. I think he is different, and I'm sure your wife would agree. I'm sure you're a fantastic husband. Sean's the nicest guy
Ever.
But
Thank you, Sam.
You
it's true.
are.
But really, I mean, you can agree. Some guys are kind of idiots and
Some are.
are like
some
food,
are.
sex, poop, sleep.
Yeah, some are a little bit oblivious to the nuances of
That's true.
relationships and life.
I'm not gonna lie. After last week's show, when we were walking out, I definitely was like, Sean, I need to talk to you about some guy stuff. He's like, okay, I'll talk to you. We love
That's
you.
right.
Okay, moving on. So Jane and Professor Chavez, something's gonna go on. Oh wait, no. She says, yes, I can't be there anymore, and then he says, no, wait, can I take you out?
Yes.
Quick question though, does
Score
that mean
Chavez.
she not the TA anymore? Because that's
She's not.
She's not. She says that
Yeah.
I can't be your TA anymore. And he's like, okay, since now,
She can't be his TA, nor he cannot be her advisor anymore.
That kind of sucks with the TA thing because I
It
thought
does,
she was
but
really
they're
developing.
She was, but they're getting in the way. It doesn't mean that he can't help her, but they can't do it professional anymore because it's in the way of her writing.
And
She's thinking about him in like very sexual ways, and that's
Yes.
all. And we all know Jane may start it, but the guys finish it because the same thing happened with Raph. She did a very, the letter was not meant for him, but Raph got the letter, and then all he needed to see was her creativeness, and was like, damn, she a freak. That's what happened.
She's just, she's like the next Danielle Steele, really, I think is what she's going to find.
Oh, man.
That's why she's got to have sex.
We'll
got
see,
to.
because he looked scared in the previews.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be the one to.
Which is, who wouldn't these days be afraid of that?
And she has a child, which doesn't make any sense, but still.
Just awkward.
I don't think that's
still-
ever happened in history. It's like, I don't want to take your virginity, A, because it's your virginity, and B, you have a child, and like, that just means so much more. Unless she adopted the child when she was a virgin, but who knows?
Yeah.
And she still sits in bed at night and looks up at that crushed rose.
Yeah, because it's like difficult. Oh gosh, we'll see. I mean, she's ridiculous no, she's not ridiculous if she thinks she should. Oh wait, you were the one who said she needed to lose her virginity from someone other than the two guys, right?
Yeah, I did actually.
And Chavez is coming into play now.
Magic Mike Man coming in, gonna take it. Sorry.
Oh no, don't take it. Okay, take it. You could take it just a little bit.
I think he's the worthy person to take it, unless next episode they're gonna make him either like super noble or he's gonna become a jerk within the next 2 episodes.
I don't think he'll become a jerk, but he'll be able to express himself better than Mike and Raph and say, no, let me tell you exactly what I'm thinking right now.
Well, you know what? I'm going to save a prediction, actually.
Okay.
Remind me. I'm going to write it down, though, actually.
So last but not least, my tears. My tears arrived when Rogelio proposes to Xiomara. So Xiomara is going through some things, and she auditions or tries to get a job at La Descarga. That's just where it was filmed.
That
sorry.
is exactly right.
Sorry. It's on the show. It's like a club or anything, but it's
an actual
it's
place.
a speakeasy here in Los Angeles, which is
so
really
cool.
It is. I'm actually going to talk about it because I think it's really cool, and hopefully I should send this little clip to the managers and be like, hey, make sure I get in for free every time now. Mm-hmm. But it's a speakeasy where you go in. It's by reservation only. You walk up these stairs, and it looks like a weird like old World War II kind of a setting.
It's like
and then,
Prohibition era. Like 1930s,
and a woman,
1920s, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a woman sitting at a desk, she's like, hello, your reservations? You talk to her, and she's like, okay, excuse me. Opens an armoire.
Yes.
And moves the coats and opens a door, and then you get into the club.
And then you go down that winding staircase.
The stairs that Xiomara went down. So that's La Descarga here in Los Angeles. A nice Cuban spa, salsa, merengue, whatever you want to do over there.
And burlesque dancers.
And burlesque dancers. So technically, she was literally doing what they have there at the show. They have that, like women walking down in those dresses and performing and everything like that. So she attempts to get that position. However, the manager says no because you were a little bit inconsistent and you cancel too many times. So your priorities are not where they need to be. But then at the last minute, on the day of her birthday that Rogelio was throwing for her, she gets offered a gig, and she's like, I'm sorry, we can't do this. And then she gets upset about it because Rogelio gets upset about it, but Rogelio only gets upset about it because he wanted to propose to her that evening.
Rogelio in his cucumber mask.
In his cucumber mask, which he looked lovely.
So sexy.
So sexy. And then that all passes. She does her performance, and they show up. They're all there at the show. And when she's in her dressing room, or prior to that, Jane then gives Rogelio the diamond that Matteo poops out, and he goes and talks to her. And I thought it was really emotional, and I couldn't believe it didn't end the way that we thought. Like how you said, it's always just like hints, like they don't go through with it.
It's annoying.
Which is crazy because they took a lot of time. They had a lot of almost. They were already married technically, and then it just stopped. But I can't believe that Xiomara said, I don't want kids. Well, no, I can believe that, of course, because she's been through it and she's fine now. But
I can't believe he wanted kids.
Yeah, that's just really
and expected
crazy.
that of her. They have a grandchild.
Yeah, like I feel like he should embrace that part, and hopefully he'll see that. But later, he's just really sad about missing out on raising Jane.
That's exactly why because he wants to do. He missed out on it because Xiomara had Jane the whole time, and he was gone. You know, he ran away. It's his fault, right? But he has an opportunity now, and that's why he thinks it's okay to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would have thought he at least would have prefaced it being like, I know it's kind of crazy because we have a grandchild, but I still want children. But he said it as though they were like, 20s, 30s years old.
Exactly. Which you can't blame him, and hopefully she understands that because he's still a dreamer. Rogelio is such a romantic, excuse me.
Rogelio,
Weird.
I feel like he is so loquacious and he talks so much, right? He overexpresses and he overshares his feelings to the world with his tweets, right?
Yes,
his prearranged tweets. But I feel like he should have just, in this case, made it really simple and not given all these other explanations behind his proposal. And he should have just proposed to her and said yes or no, and then we could have, if he really wanted to, move on from there, and that would have been it. And then if they have kids, it happens. If they don't have kids, it doesn't happen.
Yes, but that wouldn't be him.
It wouldn't be him.
He wanted it to be a big show, so honestly, it made me laugh when he was like, well, let me just tell you what I was going to do. However, because it didn't happen, I'm very proud of him of doing it anyways. I thought that his character was going to be stubborn and say, well, no, not unless it's in front of everyone and not unless it's a big show. But no, he's like, forget it, I'll just tell her, and he took the time to say it. And like, my favorite part was that we met when we were 16, and I kind of think that my journey up until now was just for me to get back to you, which I think is true.
Which is so cool, because there's like so many stories that do that, where it's like the character, like the protagonist, leaves on this journey, and then he's just like, whatever it was like waiting for him back at home, like The Alchemist.
Yes.
El Alchemista is such a good book.
It is.
Right?
It is.
So it's
that's
like,
exactly,
This was
perfect.
Rogelio
It was in front of you the entire time.
Yep.
Well, and when people meet so young and they fall in love so young, it's too young. And I think a lot of times the best thing to do is to leave and come back, or else you're going to end up ruining what you have because you're so young and you don't understand what you want.
So leave and come back. It's one of those things where you let go, and if it's yours, it'll come back.
It's like a boomerang.
Not, yes.
It's beautiful, and I'm so sad that Xiomara, and so is she, that she said what she did, but that needed to be said.
Absolutely, it was okay, and I thought that was great. And she's like, I want to, but she understood the dynamic of their own relationship at this point. She knew that it had to be said at that moment, and so that no one would be disillusioned. And I think that that's great. And then we see her speak to Jane about it, which was also good, because then we have that moment where we kind of know, damn, the women are just all over the place at this point. And Jane, we then are introduced to Jane possibly losing her virginity prior to marriage.
Possibly. A tease.
Yeah, so
I can't wait.
that was this episode. Okay, why don't we go into predictions?
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
This is so funny. I'm looking over at your shirt, Steph, and it says "Oui, oui, mon chéri," and Jane is wearing two different French shirts today in today's episode. Chapter
Really?
33. Yeah, is that funny?
Steph's face just was like, oh my God, I'm Jane. I knew it. Yes.
That's exactly she said. Steph's face. God, I'm such a fangirl. But that is exactly what I thought. I was like, oh my God, we are the same. Okay, great. I can and I did. I'm just kidding. That was her speech.
Yes, an awesome fan that watches a lot, Renjay, said, if you love something, let it free. It comes back and then it's yours.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the best way to know that it's true, because you didn't make it happen.
It's the universe.
Yes.
It is. It's the universe.
On that note, though, I'm going to take that as that's Michael and Jane.
Ooh.
That's how I still feel, because he's still very much a part of the picture, and we're still seeing him. And I know he's a police officer in charge of this case, so he still has a very pivotal role in the plot. But with that being said, they have unfinished business they need to get to, and so does Rafael and Petra. And that's what's going to happen, I think, for the rest of the season, are those two couples developing and hopefully ending their relationship, so Rafael and Jane can perhaps come together at the beginning or some point in the next season, but like later, when they get all of their crap out of the way that they need to do.
I will agree with you in the fact where they need to be able to end it on their terms and not because of this huge accident.
Exactly, or other people, or
right,
blackmail,
but I'm
whatever.
saying, it all started with the insemination, and then it messed everything up, regardless of what his mind was. But then it played with people's heads. Closure was there, but not there. So yeah, I do like that prediction. It just needs to happen.
Yeah, and with Xiomara, I think that basically what's going to happen with Rogelio and Xiomara is that they're going to have some more time with the little baby, and they're going to realize, like, well, I'm too old for this. I don't want to do this. And then hopefully they'll just, like, get eloped, actually. I could totally see them eloping.
Me too. I can see Xiomara I could see her almost agreeing with it, and then Rogelio realizing, I have this grandson, I already have my daughter, and not only did I miss out on my life with my daughter, I missed out on my life with you, Xiomara, and that he hopefully realizes that he does need to take this opportunity to be with her now.
Yeah.
I feel like next time Chavez is going to be really surprised that she's still a virgin. We saw that in the teaser.
Okay.
But I feel like he's not going to take her virginity right away, not in the next 2 episodes. But I feel like he may give her some third base action, maybe. You know, like
well, that's specific.
I think he's gonna give her a little oral.
I think so.
Perhaps.
Oh my god, amazing! I think that'd be great, only because I feel like Jane will eventually get to the point where either she has a wonderful relationship with this professor that she respects as a person, which would be the only way it'd be okay to lose her virginity to him, or she'll get a little bit more and realize and then almost feel like that little bit, even if it's just that, that little bit was taken from someone, and then she'll understand that, oh my god, it'll be that much of a bigger deal if my virginity is taken by someone I don't love. So she'll realize that she does want to. My point is that I think she'll stay a virgin until she's married. Still.
Well, who's she gonna marry?
Raph, but that's later.
No, it's gonna be her knight in dirty armor, Michael. Yeah.
Where can they find you on social media?
You guys can find me, Sam Davidson, at SamD43 on Twitter and Instagram, and online at SamDavidsonEntertainment.com.
And you guys can find me at Sean Austin O. That's SeanAustino on Twitter and Instagram. Be sure to check out my book, City of Angels and Discontent, on Amazon and the iBookstore.
All right. Thank you all so much for watching today. Let us know what you think. You can follow me on Twitter at Stephanie Giorgi, on Instagram at @TheStephanieGiorgi, and tomorrow night for the American Crime Story show, The People vs. O.J. Simpson, live at 10:30 p.m. We'll see you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.